Good evening. My name is Cal Kozlowski.
And I'm Caitlin Fletcher. On behalf of the Chanhassen High School 2016 graduates,
We would like to welcome you to the 6th commencement exercises of Chanhassen High School.
buenas noches. Mi nombre es Carla Abreu. De parte de la clase graduanda del 2016, les damos la bienvenida a la 6ª ceremonia de graduación de Chanhassen High School.
Bonsoir, je m'appelle Lydia El-Hadi. Au nom des diplômés de l'année 2016, bienvenue au 6e remise de Chanhassen High School.
Domnip Suo, Ding Kim Chmo, Jasmine Sophie Hack. Dear Consult Jim Dun Tipi Pandapra Moy of Chanhassen High School. Som Garok on Jim Netiang Aknia. Mok Jorum Gam BT Lurk Tipra Moy of Chanhassen High School. Som Akun.
晚上好，我的名字是 Marissa， 代表 Chanhassen 高中毕业生2016年，我们小欢迎您到香港的伟大高中的第6毕业典礼。
ملعي واسدي خاصة لواتن إلى حاجة جرا على ساد بال.
Guten Abend, mein Name ist Lana Heilmann. Die Klasse aus 2016 aus Chanhassen High School möchten Sie auf unsere Zeremonie begrüßen.
Добрый вечер. Меня зовут Мария. Добро пожаловать от нашей школы 2016 выпускного класса.
Kính chào quý vị, con tên Quân Nguyễn, thay mặt cho các em ra trường năm 2016 tại Chanhassen, xin gửi lời chào đến quý vị đã đến đây tham dự lần thứ 6 trường Chanhassen tôi cùng ngày ra trường cho các em.
Jambo, kwa majina naitwa Lydia Kwamboka na ya Bando. Kwa niaba ya wanafunzi wa kidato cha 4, ningependa kuwakaribisha nyote katika sherehe yetu ya leo, Chanhassen High School. Asanteni.
Buonasera, io sono Daniela Rascattino, al nome dei diplomati della Scuola Superiore di Chanhassen, anno 2016. Vi diamo il benvenuto alla 6ª cerimonia di consegna diplomati della Scuola Superiore. Dobro večer, ja se zovem Milica Tolimir. U ime Chanhassen maturanata generacije 2016 dobrodošli na 6. završnu svečanost Srednja škola Chanhassen. Hvala.
You guys look great, and this is going to be awesome. Good evening. My name is Tim Dorway, and I have the absolute honor of serving as the principal of Chanhassen High School. It's my pleasure to welcome you, members of the graduating class, District 112 staff, Superintendent Bauk, representatives of the Board of Education, parents and friends here and watching online, to Chanhassen High School's 6th ever commencement exercises. We have a couple of announcements before we get started and go farther than that. The first is, this is a first for me as a principal. They didn't teach this at principal school, but our friends at the National Weather Service have informed us that there's a possibility of a storm during our commencement. So in the event that the sirens go off, I need you to do two things. Stop screaming. And this is actually the safest place from what I understand. I actually had to call yesterday and we're the safest here, so we'll just kind of have a group hug and hang tight. The second piece is something that we do every year, and I would be remiss if I didn't, so just pause with me for a second. If you could kill the laser beams that are burning my retinas right now. Thank you. We got to get a panel of the graduating class, don't we? Done. Thank you. We'll put that on the Twitter machine when we're done here, and you can get it from there. I first would like to thank our student musicians and their directors for sharing their talents with us. I just sat and listened to the message of that song, and I'm absolutely touched. I hope you are as well. But the Chanhassen High School Symphonic Winds under the director of Mr. Paul Swanson, and the concert choir under the direction of Mrs. Sarah Gilbertson. Thank you. I'd also like to take a moment to introduce those on stage with us tonight, and I'd also like to ask them to stand and remain standing as they hear their names, and I would ask you to please hold your applause until all of them have been recognized. Our superintendent, Dr. James Bauk, Mr. Clint Christopher, our associate superintendent, Mr. Tim Klein, our vice chair, treasurer, Dr. Jeff Ross, board member, Josie Colleran, Fred Berg, board member, Miss Heather Nelson, also a school board member Miss Amy Logue, assistant principal in charge of activities, Mr. Jim Swearingen, assistant principal in charge of athletics, Mr. Dick Unger, and Miss Erin Swoboda, one of our deans. Thank you. Before we begin with our addresses tonight, it's very important to the graduating class that we take a moment to recognize, and to those of us in our school community, 4 of our classmates who were gone much too early from our lives. While we're certainly here to celebrate today, we would be remiss if we did not recognize Ethan Herman, Dylan Turcott, Caleb Bartram, and Alex Snyder, who are all members of the class of 2016 before their untimely passing. They are missed by their families, by their classmates, by our staff, and by our entire community. I'd ask you to please join me in a moment of silence to honor their lives. Thank you. Mr. Swearingen will now introduce our first student speaker.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce our first student speaker of the evening, Miss Siobhan Edison. Siobhan is the daughter of Sharon and Bruce Edison, and sister to brothers Bruce II and Brian, and best friend to her feline Allie, who has no tail. While a student at Chanhassen High School, Miss Edison was very involved in the performing arts, participating in our speech team, our choir, our theater program, and our band. She was also a member of our student council for some time. Siobhan lists Mr. Feggi as her favorite teacher, stating he made English enjoyable with his wit and charm. Next year, Ms. Edison will attend Minnesota State University in Mankato, where she plans to study aviation. Her speech today is entitled, Embracing the Change. Class of 2016, please give a warm, storm welcome to Siobhan Edison.
Thank you, Mr. Swearingen, for that humbling introduction. Hello, my name is Siobhan Edison. I, like most of you, will be a student graduating from the class of 2016, and I changed my mind. Music has always been one of the most important aspects of my life. Like most things, it all started when I was born. In my family, once anyone is around 5 years old, it becomes high time to begin taking piano lessons. 2 nights a week, we would drive from Spanish Lake, where we lived in Missouri, all the way to Florissant to see our piano teacher, an old woman with a dozen cats, Miss Betty Jane. Of everyone in my family, I was the youngest and the worst at it, so naturally I always admired both of my brothers' advanced skill in musicianship. So in 5th grade, when my music teacher at the time, shout out to Mrs. Engelbretson, although I am truly loyal to Gilby, announced that this was the year we could learn to play a band instrument, I was ecstatic. I bought a brand new recorder, rigorously practiced hot cross buns until my ears bled, and commandeered my big brother's flute. Suddenly, after joining band, I was determined to get good, convinced that the flute was my true calling. I even dabbled in piccolo, I was so excited. Until finally, in fall of 2011, I quit band. No, I'm serious. You aren't hallucinating. After completely obsessing over it, I quit band. For some fated reason, after practicing flute diligently for 4 years, bam, I decided I no longer wished to participate. My dear classmates, I tell you this anecdote not as a story of woe or even a cautionary tale, but as a person who has benefited from permitting myself to change my mind. Dropping band in 8th grade didn't ruin my life or skew my goals. Instead, it gave me the opportunity to try out choir, exploring an entirely different area of music from, say, piano or flute. Changing my mind meant creating other options, allowing room for growth. I spent 3 years after quitting band enjoying myself in choir, making new friends, and learning to sight read vocally. And finally, in my junior year of high school, I rejoined band. And I have to be one of the only people who did that. You can ask Mr. Swanson. Right, Mr. Swanson? Usually when people quit, they just quit. But I changed my mind. I speak to you as a person who is currently in band, while I now am a member of the percussion section and refuse to even pick up a flute. The message I want you to hear loud and clear is, it's perfectly fine to change your mind. As students with pending futures preparing to advance into the world of adulthood, whether it be working, exploring, or studying after high school, day by day we will be riddled with new chances to make both the right and wrong decisions. As we all know, joining movie club freshman year does not mean you pledge your allegiance to Jeff Peck for life. This leads me to a quote referencing a novel I'm sure we all did in Spark Note and can relate to thoroughly as high school seniors, of Mice and Men. I bet you're all thinking, yes, the infamous literary classic of Mice and Men. Poet Robert Burns once wrote, "The best laid plans of mice and men oft go awry. Sometimes it seems that no matter the effort we put into things, they continue to get, all junked up. And no matter how much our parents, grandparents, or even we ourselves want them to work out, this major, this school, or that movie club may not be the best option. While I don't endorse a life of capricious indecisiveness as the goal, I do know that as seniors, and now as high school graduates, We feel enough pressure as it is to even make our own decisions, let alone etch them in stone. A Grammy-winning choral director and composer, Craig "Hella" Johnson, once said, "We don't find our callings, they find us." If it takes 4 months of studying architecture to realize you want to be an engineer, so be it. The crazy part of turning 18, graduating, and becoming an actual adult means that from now on, we have the responsibility to manage our own lives, which includes switching it up a bit. Though Katy Perry may sing, "You change your mind like a girl changes clothes," I say, you change your mind like a responsible adult who's taking a little time to figure things out. In 5th grade, blowing notes in that little recorder to my heart's content meant that one day I might advance to be performing as a flautist or working as a music teacher for other zealous little kids. But now, I've made enough decisions up to this point to know that aviation is a much better bet for me. Without exploring the contrary, there is no way to find what we are truly passionate about. Making the wrong decision a couple times is far finer than choosing nothing at all. Despite beliefs of the ramp up for readiness enforcers, there are still things out there that might throw me for a loop that I'll have no idea how to prepare for. It may be terrifying to hear, but it is impossible to map out every moment of your life after this. So, class of 2016, I hope each of you have a clear plan of what is to come after walking across this stage. But if you don't, or if in 2 months you realize you thought you did, I want you to know, it's all good. There's always time to change your mind.
What's your story? What's your plan? Where you going to? Where do you stand?
In this moment, take a chance. Feel the light shine down. Live your life out loud. You can dance.
Hear the laughter in the air. Let your voice be heard. If you dare.
Take the high road to your dreams. Let the world see how life could be right now. Come with me. One step towards the edge. What will
That was fantastic, guys. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The graduating class has selected Mr. David Carlson as its staff speaker for this evening's commencement. Dave is completing his 20th year of service to students this school year. Prior to his career in education, Mr. Carlson worked for 23 years in the propane gas equipment business. At age 40, while serving as president of the Minnesota Propane Gas Association, he decided it was time to do what he truly wanted to do: teach. During his time in education, Mr. Carlson has been a teacher, assistant principal, alternative learning center principal, and high school principal. He has always enjoyed teaching U.S. history most, but is really looking forward to teaching criminal justice this coming fall. Dave is married to Lisa and has 3 children, Grant, Taylor, and Blake, all of whom are named after important historical figures. Outside of school, Mr. Carlson enjoys hiking, fishing, and hunting. He says it is truly an honor to be selected to speak today, and he wants you to know how very much this graduating class means to him. His speech today is entitled September. Please welcome Mr. Carlson.
I can't believe some of you actually made it on time. Remember, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. Thank you, Ms. Swoboda. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, administrators, staff, parents, family, friends, and of course, the students of the 2016 graduating class of Chanhassen High School. Everybody stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. It's during a moment like this that you need to pause and reflect on who you are and how you got here. It's been an incredible journey. Graduates, look around you. Tonight, you are surrounded by love and support. As you search the rows and the seats for your family and friends, congratulate yourself on a job well done. 13 years of school, and tonight it culminates in one final celebration. As you pat yourself on the back, don't forget to embrace all those who helped you get this far. Everyone here tonight has played an essential role in your educational and social development. Moms, dads, brothers, sisters, grandparents, friends, teachers, and administrators. Simply stated, you are here tonight because of their love and their support. No matter where you travel in life or what you do, for good or for bad, you will always be a reflection of your family. You need to know how much they love you and how incredibly proud they are of you at this exact moment. By your participation tonight, you are fulfilling many of the dreams and expectations they have for you. Tonight is a special night, and you and your classmates share a common bond. You've successfully completed 13 years of education together. But this evening I want to talk about September, the most important September of your life. A September that shaped and defined who you are and what you would and will become. September 4th, 2003 was not a typical day, and it would change your life forever. On that morning in eastern Carver County, the sun was shining and the temperature was 53 degrees. For breakfast, you were eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch or dinosaur egg oatmeal. From your perch at the breakfast table, you watched Dora the Explorer or Blue's Clues on TV. As you enjoyed your breakfast, you were interrupted by a sudden rush There was hurried activity around the house. Your mom and dad finished packing your lunch and handed you your Wiggles or your Super Barbie plastic lunchbox. Some of you hipsters even carried a special edition of Finding Nemo lunchbox. September 4th, 2003 was your first day of school. You were off to kindergarten. Many of you headed out the door to the bus stop with mom and dad following behind with their Sony Hi8 video camcorders documenting your every step and your every word. Some of you may have been carrying backpacks with Polly Pockets, Hokey Pokey Elmo, My Little Ponies, or Micro Machine Transformers. As you nervously waited for that big orange bus, you held your mom's hand. You didn't want to appear afraid. Some of you ran to your friends and hung out in small groups. The bus finally arrives, the door opens, and you were met by a smiling, friendly driver who welcomed you onto his bus. As you reluctantly boarded the bus, you surveyed this new environment. Looking down the aisle, some of the faces looked familiar, but many did not. You found a seat, pressed your face to the glass, waved goodbye to mom and dad. Your journey had begun. You didn't know it then, but as the bus departed towards your future and your destiny, your parents were crying. Tonight, they may cry again as they see you complete that journey you started together 13 years ago, September 4th. Tomorrow morning will be a new beginning for all of you. Enjoy this special time in your life. You've all worked hard to reach this point. Take the time to savor and enjoy your accomplishments. No matter what you do or become in the future, don't ever lose the hope or the magic of this moment. As your summer begins tomorrow, don't forget to keep an eye on your calendar. September 4th, 2016. It's fast approaching. It will not be unlike that September 4th, 13 years ago. The school bus will be outside your house. As you approach it, you'll be carrying your backpack, and this time it will be filled with your diploma, your hopes, and your dreams for the future. When the door opens and you enter, there will be no smiling driver. Instead, it will be you who drives that bus. You control the route you take and the destination you seek. As you drive away, don't forget to look in the mirror. You'll see those same people from 13 years ago smiling, waving, crying, and yes, taking videos of the first day of your new life. They may look a little older now, but their love and support for you remains as it did September 4th, 2003. As you drive away, remember, you will get lost. You'll even break down once or twice. You'll definitely encounter detours. Occasionally, you may run out of gas. But along the way, you will become an expert navigator and mechanic as you make repairs and pilot yourself into the future. You will arrive at your destination. Remember, if you don't know where you're going, don't worry. Any road will get you there. Historically, September is usually the beginning of the end of the year. However, rather than the end, this September is the beginning, bringing new exciting challenges and opportunities to all of you. From this point on, you are in control of your future. You're driving the bus. It was at times like this that my late father had a way of putting life in perspective. With perfect timing, Dad would look at me in the eye and say, "Dave, that's what you did today. But what are you going to do tomorrow? So, class of 2016, great job. Tonight you graduated. But let me ask, what are you going to do tomorrow? Thank you and goodbye. I will miss you all.
Dave brought his own copy. Good evening, everyone. Our second student speaker tonight is Mr. Brendan Olafson. Brendan's parents are Sonia and Dean, and he is an outstanding brother to Colin, Hannah, and Paige. Or at least that's what he's asked me to tell you tonight. At Chanhassen High School, Brendan was an outstanding wrestler and played on the Storm football team. He lists Miss Xander Rowe as his favorite teacher. Outside of his school and athletics, Mr. Olafson is a dive technician for waterfront restoration, where he enjoys destroying the invasive Eurasian milfoil species in the bottom of watercraft. Sounds rather ominous to me. Next year, Brendan will study as a jackrabbit at South Dakota State University. He intends to major in civil and environmental engineering. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Brendan Olafson for his speech entitled The Chanhassen Address.
"4 years and many 7-period days ago, our parents brought us forth to this school, a new school, conceived in taxpayer dollars and dedicated to the proposition that all high schoolers are created equal. A great man with an even greater beard once said something kind of like this, but I really doubt he's going to sue me. Class of 2016, I'm honored to stand before you today, and I congratulate each and every one of you on making it through these 4 years. Friends, family, teachers, second-grade babysitters, we would not have made it here without you over these years, and I think I speak for both myself and my fellow classmates in saying thank you for everything. Before I begin, I would like to take a moment to remember the friends we have lost over the years: Ethan, Dylan, Caleb, and Alex. Each of these young men will remain in our hearts as the years go by, and their memories will be carried on with us as we continue into our futures. Today, I have just one story about my life I would like to share with you all, and I hope you will listen. But if not, I welcome you to play Angry Birds on your iPhone, or my personal favorite, Clash of Clans. Now, most of you who know me know I have a particular interest in the sport of wrestling. For those of you that don't know me, I'm not talking about the one where you throw chairs at John Cena, although you do get to wear the stretchy outfits. Anyway, this last season was one I don't think I could ever forget. The regular season went great. I was undefeated on the year, ranked second in the state at the time, and one of the favorites to win the whole state tournament. First day of the tournament comes along, and I won my first 2 matches like a breeze. Too easy. After the day was over, though, I was approached by a Star Tribune reporter, you know, being the big shot and all. When I finished the interview, though, I could only think about the pressure of remaining undefeated. My coaches, my friends, my family, my teammates. Everyone expected for me to take the first state title in school history. I walked into the bay where my things were, feeling undefeated and defeated all at once. But when I opened up my wrestling bag, there was a small card that I had forgot I put in there the night before. It was given to me by someone very special to me. It was a dorky card, but it brought a smile to my face that I was in desperate need of. Because on it, the main message was, don't forget to have fun. Coming from anyone else in any other way, this would have meant nothing to me. But this one little card washed away all the feelings of doubt and pressure and replaced them with a stupid little smile. The next day, I went on to lose my semifinals match. It had been so long, I almost forgot what losing felt like. But I stepped off that match feeling better than I thought I ever could after being defeated. By the end of the tournament, I actually had to forfeit out due to a knee injury sustained by an opponent in an illegal move. On a side note, that opponent is the reason why we'll never go to Elk River. But I actually felt better than when I went into the tournament, all because of that little white card. It was something so small, but it meant the world to me at the time. Now I could be up here talking about any of my very interesting, danger-filled, daring, legendary life experiences. But I chose this one because it showed me something very important. Now take what you will away from my story, like winning isn't everything, or our losses make us stronger, or don't put too much pressure on yourself. But I took away two main things from my state wrestling experience. First, it's the little things that mean the most. I always joke with people that great things come in little packages because of, well, my height. But I never really thought it was true. Don't underestimate the impact that you can have on others with the small things, the things that really don't seem to matter. Even the happiest of people have dark days, and I speak from personal experience. But my darkest hours weren't solved by some grand gesture, but rather by little tiny actions that meant something to me. Every single person in this crowd has the ability to make someone else's life better, because we are all capable of small, kind things. One small thing could change a person's day, week, year, or even the course of their life. If you don't understand what I mean, try it for yourself sometime. Do something nice for someone, and if you get the chance, pay attention to their face. Even if they aren't smiling, you can usually catch a little spark in their eye. For the second thing, I'm going to borrow the words of the card given to me. And I'm sorry, Mrs. Rowe, but I didn't properly cite my source this time. Like the card said, don't forget to have fun. Now, I'm not encouraging extreme and reckless activities, but life's not meant to be something that is suffered. Take a break from studying or working every once in a while, and do something you love. That is, unless you really do love studying. Regardless of what path you are taking after high school, we're all going to have moments where we're stressed out or just having a miserable time. These moments are a part of life, but don't let them be all you have to look back on. If you ever find yourself not enjoying something, then odds are it's probably not worth your time. Enjoy the time you're given, because it flies by pretty quick. The future holds not only the worst moments of our lives, but also the very best. In dark times, just think about how others' lives would be so very different if they never knew you. We aren't all going to grow up to invent the cure for cancer, but that doesn't mean we can't change the lives of those around us. I believe that everyday acts of kindness and love really make this world a spectacular place. Odds are you won't be the billionaire like you planned someday, but you might just inspire one. Class of 2016, I wish you the best of luck in the future. Don't forget the little things, and don't forget to have fun. Thank you.
This is normally the place where I should spend time lauding the academic accomplishments of our students and yammer on about scholarships earned, colleges and universities to be attended, titles celebrated, etc. But you all know how talented this group is, so I won't be doing that. Instead, I wish to issue the graduating class of 2016 a challenge. Actually, a couple of them. First, in your future career, education, and life, don't take things for granted. Step back. Show humility. The saying goes that when things are going well, we should talk quiet. When they're not going well, we should talk loud. Be grateful for the opportunities you have here in this community, for the support of your family, for the caring staff you had at Chanhassen High School, and for the times, though you may not have liked it then, that you were challenged by that same community, by your parents, our staff, and by me. We did it because we care. But most importantly, help each other. Take care of one another. Lift as you climb. No one is telling you that you need to hold or stifle your own successes. but I'm strongly encouraging to you that you should take others with you on that journey to success. The more successes we can celebrate in this great country of ours, the better off we will be. Empowering others, showing care, compassion, and kindness will take us a long, long way. Class of 2016, you will not be judged by how smart you are, by how many awards you win, or by where you attend school. You'll be judged by the content of your character. One of my heroes, Major Dick Winters of the 101st Airborne and a recipient of the Distinguished Service Cross, said it best when he talked about his view of leadership for a August 2004 article in American History magazine. If you can, he wrote, find that peace within yourself, that peace and quiet and confidence that you can pass on to others, so that they know that you are honest and you are fair and you will help them no matter what when the chips are down. Class of 16, I wish you the most happiness and peace. Please take care of one another and take care of yourselves. Mr. Klein, as principal of Chanhassen High School and on behalf of the faculty and staff who've had the absolute privilege of working with these students, it is my honor to present you and the school board of the schools of Eastern Carver County 381 graduates from the class of 2016 for their awarding of their diplomas. They have successfully met all requirements as set forth by the Minnesota Department of Education and the Board of Education of Eastern Carver County Schools.
Superintendent Bauk, school board, faculty, staff, and most importantly, family and friends. We are gathered here to observe one of the greatest traditions and recognize the graduates of our community. As Mr. Carlson reflected, in some way you've all contributed to make this moment possible by supporting our graduates and our schools. As a result, our community has established an increasingly acclaimed educational institution as reflected in the impressive graduates here today. For that, we thank you all. Graduates, the high esteem engendered through your remarkable performance as students of Eastern Carver County and Chanhassen High School provides the strongest foundation to ensure this landmark will fruitfully serve long after today. For that, we are very grateful. So we congratulate you on today's fine achievement. And with this diploma, we believe you're indeed well prepared to realize continued success and enrich both your lives and the lives of your future communities. We wish you all the best on that journey. Now, Principal Dorway, on behalf of the school board of the schools of Eastern Carver County, I'm very proud to accept the class of 2016 for the awarding of their diplomas.
In a few seconds, each student in this graduating class will be called by name to cross the stage and receive his or her diploma. It's the culmination of 13 years of education captured in one very brief and special moment. As I asked the class this morning during rehearsal to honor, respect, and support one another during these presentations, I also ask you tonight to hold your cheering and applause until all students have been called and crossed the stage, and each student, first to last, has enjoyed that special moment for themselves and their families. Readers, please bring the students forward at this time.
Grant Bruce Abrahamson.
Julia Michelle Armani.
Carla Gabriela Abreu.
Charles Allen Augustine.
Sadiq Shafahi Ahmed.
Brittany Elizabeth Bachman.
Sufyan Shafahi Ahmed.
Ellison Monroe Bachman.
Anson Samuel Allard.
Justin Jackson Beck.
Peyton Isaiah Anderson.
Michaela Ann Becker.
James Thomas Annenson.
Alexander Joseph Berg.
Micah Stephen Spieldenner.
Andre Paul Birkland.
Kirsten Victoria Haugen.
Benjamin Chenard Bjorken.
Catherine Anna Johnson.
Emerson Higgins Blatz.
Andrew Lane Mansell.
Alexander Daniel Bach.
Julia Ann Howes.
Sophia Isabella Burrell.
Michaela Marie Theo.
Harrison Mark Bosch.
Bjorn Thomas Swanson.
Alexander Joseph Bowman.
McKenna Paige Ryan.
Jack Joseph Broughton.
Lydia Mariam El-Hadi.
Mackenzie Lee Woods.
Stenner James Anfinrud.
Kaylee Marie Brown.
Shelby Ann Marie Sabella.
Larson Niles Cole.
Benjamin Christopher Larkham.
Haley Charla Collette.
Maxwell Guy Brunner.
Jordan James Kuhn.
Macy Ann Buin.
Joseph Edward Costello.
Chesley Ann Benger.
Corinthia Love Cody Narum.
Zachary Keith Biskins.
Andrew Patrick Courtney.
John Donald Buckenberg.
Caroline Marie Crowley.
Jada Melissa Caldwell.
Mohammed Hassan Dahir.
Chasen McKinley Carlisle.
Vivian Ann Dang.
Megan Elizabeth Carver.
Jared Joseph Davidson.
Benjamin Jeffrey Chapman.
Hannah Senjum Davis.
Nicole Elizabeth Chapman.
Nathan Philip Davis.
Ashley Juliana Cheney.
Natalie Christine Day.
Katerina Elizabeth Elaine Christensen.
Griffin Wallace Deck.
John Connor Clark.
Brianna Irene DeFore.
Anthony Ty On Doan.
Nicholas Augustus Delaney.
Anthony James Dockendorf.
Ryan Matthew Diekman.
Matthew David Dorn.
Devin David Fahey.
Joshua William Doyle.
Cayman Rose Fashing.
Hannah Marie Dudak.
Tanner Lucas Filko.
Emma Grace Duncan.
Leah Elizabeth Fisher.
Nathan Scott Ebert.
Morgan Christina Fisher.
Siobhan Aaron Edison.
Tyler James Fisher.
Elizabeth Grace Edlund.
Riley Milano Flaherty.
Jason Cole Effner.
Madeline Grace Flannery.
Ryan Troy Iden.
Caitlin Sarah Fletcher.
Andrew Dane Elder.
Madeline Corrine Foss.
Jack Nolan Elgren.
Justin Dane Fossend.
Amanda Margaret Emerson.
Morgan Catherine Fox.
Catherine Lee Emery.
Amanda Marjorie Frazier.
Sarah Ann Etzel.
Taylor Lynn Fry.
Hunter John Even.
Tyler Joseph Fries.
Spencer Trenton Evink.
Daniel Jacob Frisbee.
Patrick Howard Gans.
Eleanor Julia Frommeld.
Taylor Sierra Gaskin.
Kristen Rose Gallardi.
Joshua John Gersh.
Elizabeth Ann Gallardo.
Keegan Jacob Geske.
Lana Celine Heilman.
Sydney Kate Goggins.
Michaela Nicole Helkman.
Sarah Ann Go.
Anna Ruth Herbert.
Emily Marie Grandstaff.
Rachel Marie Hess.
Lauren Alicia Growles.
Gina Marie Hawking.
Haley Michelle Hockenstad.
Matthew Alfred Hodges.
Ashley Francis Hayden.
Cassandra Elizabeth Heft.
Jasmine Sophie Hawk.
Andrew William Hoffman.
Marissa Ann Hott.
Thomas John Hawkinson.
Matthew Joseph Halterman.
Justin Carl Holasek.
Henry Mitchell Hannah Deeb.
Keegan James Holman.
Grace Lisette Hans.
Emily Ann Hanslow.
Alexa Ann Hansen.
Abby Nicole Hulliston.
Alyssa K. Hansen.
Randall Thomas Huseman.
Daniel Paul Harper.
Alia Lorraine Huizinga.
Thomas James Hart.
Morgan Marie Ingram.
Shelby Annette Hedge.
Jessie Catherine Ireland.
Raquel Lynn Jenny.
Nicholas Samuel Jackson.
Maggie Ann Jensen.
Eleanor Sky Jan Rorick.
Jamie Lee Jerzak.
Allison Joe James.
William Richard Jobin.
Benjamin Richard Clokey.
Abigail Ray Johnson.
Riley Oscar Knutson.
Corey Allen Johnson.
Jesse Lynn Colbo.
Carl Robert Johnson.
Cal James Kozlowski.
Lauren Olivia Johnson.
Haley Amber Kraus.
Jordan Lawrence Joint.
Carly Elizabeth Creasel.
Taylor Marie Juve.
Olivia Frances Crone.
Andrew Christopher Cady.
Colin Douglas Cruz.
Zachary Ryan Colley.
Benjamin Robert Krish.
Jackson Riley Kaleo.
Chloe Elizabeth Casera.
Haley Lee Calls.
Sydney Shea Labatt.
Jameson John Kenny.
Audrey Elizabeth Lane.
Bethany Joe Keski.
Logan Levi Larson.
Heather Eve Kessler.
Timothy Ronald Larson.
Allison Marie Kilabarda.
Emma Grace Laughlin.
Ryan Kelly Kinsella.
Logan Jensen Leah.
Adam Charles Kirkhoff.
Austin Brian Laban.
Kelvin Emerson Kirkbride.
Kylie Marie Laban.
Emily Jane Klinger.
Rachel Victoria Leindecker.
Austin David Lind.
Gabriela Andaya Lemus.
Connor Jacob Lindquist.
Paige Mary Leone.
Jenna Marie Lair.
Alexander Rudolph Lepper.
Hayden John Lowe's.
Megan Ray Lewis.
Johanna Bo Mia Lockhurst.
Miley Margaret Mesdal.
Kyle William Loomis.
Jeremy George Mickish.
Thorson Glenn Lovig.
Andrew Michael Miller.
Nicole Kristen Lucas.
Jennifer Rose Miller.
Brianna Lynette Lucahans.
Callie Marie Miller.
Lyra Lilydale Lundquist.
Alyssa Michelle Minotti.
Gabriel Richard Lura.
Ryan Patrick Moore.
Linnea Hella Lynham.
Allie Emily Moreno.
Maria R. Lysenko.
Morgan Leanne Morse.
Haley Olivia Seagar Mans.
Ashley Ann Massell.
Rochelle Lynn Marvin.
Claire Marissa Navarra.
Madeline Nicole Meyer.
Madeline Ann Niles.
Natalie K. Mazurik.
Taylor Mariah Nelson.
Adrian Nicholas McCall.
Andrew Stephen Neuer.
Grace Leland Chantao McGee.
Bruno Neves Casillas.
Michaela Lynn Meadows.
Quan Tin Nguyen.
Dylan Victoria Zabe Melby.
Jacob Patrick Nichols.
Greta Fix Mertens.
Kyle Marshall Niebling.
Samuel Stephen Nordling.
Benjamin Michael Namera.
Brandon Adrian Nunes.
Malcolm Alexander Neitz.
Brian Alex Nunes.
Aaron Nicole Nilsson.
Lydia Kamboka Nayabando.
Ryan John Nix.
Kate Christine O'Brien.
Robert Michael Nordby.
Thomas Michael O'Brien.
Trevor Michael Peterson.
Tyler John O'Brien.
Emily Nicole Pedretti.
Cameron Lee O'Connor.
Zachary Walter Peglow.
Colton James Oberg.
Kayleanne Carmela Pembo.
Brendan Dean Olafson.
Rayshawn Sincere Perry.
Emma Rose Scheid.
Thor Alexander Pershman.
Cameron Lynn Olson.
Jack Richard Pinamonti.
Micah Paul Olson.
Eric Anthony Pitts.
Adam Jeffrey Olin.
Joshua Scott Plankenpole.
Samuel Victor Ortman.
Victoria Lynn Pletch.
Emily Ann Osborne.
Riley Flannery Pogue.
Layla Margaret Oswai.
Sophia Joanna Poinar.
Jolynn Ray Osmansky.
Marc Guillaume Poissonnier.
Jacob Hunter Osweiler.
Jake Philip Porter.
Darby Rose Otison.
Nolan Ryan Potts.
Robert Thomas Owens.
Laura Ashley Powell.
Alexis Mackenzie Parent.
Caitlin Elizabeth Powers.
Grace Catherine Paulus.
Sophia Rose Preem.
Jeffrey Lewis Peck.
Elena Rebecca Puig Powell.
Sadie Mia Pedersen.
Keely Nicole Raftaseth.
Natalie Morgan Riuta.
Katie Elizabeth Ragnow.
Alec William Raker.
Daniela Rescatino.
Alyssa Marie Raymer.
Levi James Reese.
Nicholas Dean Rorick.
Nicole Charlotte Rainier.
Ellie Ann Rogers.
Maggie Joellen Renner.
Jacob Michael Rollin.
Neil Dakota Schultz Cox.
Dallin Smiley Rosenwinkel.
David Russell Siebeneller.
Brenna White Roseth.
Megan K. Sellinger.
Aaron Matthew Rogers.
Noah Cole Severson.
Carly Marie Ryan.
Caitlin Elizabeth Schaefer.
Luke Alexander Salem.
Leah Rose Shanahan.
Ryan Paul Samko.
Benjamin Gary Shaw.
Kevin Lee Sampson.
Matthew Deneen Shea.
Emily Rose Sanders.
Catherine Joy Schiffer.
Adam Matthew Satterval.
Samuel Ellis Shiflett.
Quinn Charles Scallon.
Chase Michael Siegfried.
Tyler Jacob Schaefer.
Jonathan James Sigurdsson.
Daniel Thomas Scharfenberg.
Nathan Garrett Simon.
Max Edward Scharfenberg.
Taylor Christine Simon.
Madeline Marie Schmall.
Madeline Marie Skogland.
Gavin Arlo Schmidt.
Tyler Mitchell Scrovey.
Alexander Daniel Schmidt.
Riley Jonathan Slavics.
Aaron Nicole Schneiderhan.
Logan Daryl Slindy.
Nathan David Schultenover.
Anthony Michael Smith.
Benjamin Lee Stagg.
Spencer Patrick Smith.
Carter Joseph Steffen.
Madison Rose Soliday.
Noah Michael Steffens.
Caitlin Hensley Spratt.
Benjamin Oliver Steiny.
Evelyn Mary Statz.
Lee Cora Stelton.
Hannah Claire Statz.
Aileen Marie Sweeney.
Samuel Edward Wozlowski.
Colton Richard Switolski.
Mackenzie Ann Watts.
Laura Renata Taylor.
Annie Margaret Weber.
Jake Gerald Tice.
Kyle Lance Wegner.
Zachary Scott Toma.
Bailey Ann Weibel.
Ryan William Thomas.
Aaron Christina Wessels.
Annika Ray Thompson.
Maria Denise Westerhouse.
Taylor Askew Thompson.
Joseph Patrick Wyant.
Militza Talamir.
Mitchell Elliott Wickenhauser.
Shane Michael Tolberg.
Rebecca Jean Wignis.
Sydney Shea Tyler.
Austin Jeffrey Wilhelm.
Molly Margaret Upton.
Anthony Gordon Williams.
Sydney L. Van Bergen.
Marissa Marie Williamson.
Hong Min Vo.
Callie Manser Winters.
Savannah Ashlyn Wallace.
Molly Francis Wise.
Alexis Nicole Walstead.
Michael Lee Wittus.
Matthew William Walls.
Sarah Jules Wolfel.
Sophie Christine Warnberg.
Colin Charles Wangdock. Jack Patrick Wormuth. Robert Jeffrey Wolf. Lindsay Joe Zamanek. Kyle Joseph Zerbis. Peyton Williams Zivkovich.
All right, here's your chance. Graduates, I present to you the graduated class of 2016 for Chanhassen High School. We ask the parents and guests please remain standing until the class has exited. Mr. Swanson, begin the recessional.